Hey, yo, what's up? This is like Marshall Courage Ray back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with them, yeah. So, this video is going to be basically about um, white entitlement and black entitlement. And we covered in the first video that white entitlement is basically based off of um, the established America, America that's already established. It's based off that, you know. Black entitlement is based off of what I think foundationally is racism because it's a byproduct of it. The black entitlement, a lot of it is a byproduct of, unfortunately, out of the racism came other things, which is now this oversensitive spirit and energy about every little thing, and now to the point where concerning how what may be said to an African American or the African American community, it's like every little thing, and you have to keep in mind correction has to come to every ethnicity, every person. I mean, yeah, every person, every group, every race, and so what has spawned out of the racism is this feeling that uh, that there's you cannot be corrected, and just overly sensitive and sometimes sensitive to things you shouldn't be sensitive to, which is correction, um, justified feelings that when wronged by the African American community, we as we go into the, as we no matter how much longer the world's gonna last, as we go into the future and advance into the future, we have to the African American community has to understand that look, no one's above approach, no one's above being corrected. We all will make mistakes. You and I, no one's perfect. We're all quick to say that, but we have to understand this collectively that no community is perfect collectively. And when you understand that, then you understand the correction will have to come collectively to a collective community. And when that's understood, then you won't be oversensitive. And I know racism made black people oversensitive. Yeah, it did. It made a lot of black people oversensitive. That's one part of it. Then the other part is so much racism. This so much is going on that you have a zero tolerance for any correction or anything that needs to be said. That can't even be said, because of what racism has done. So, but unfortunately, as human beings, I still, obviously we still all have to be held accountable. I still look at this as a sense of becoming in black entitlement, where now you're just entitled to hide behind, you hide behind the race card, so to speak. And now no one can say nothing or anything just because you're black and now you can't be corrected. That's a form of entitlement to being unapproachable, entitlement to not being corrected. So that's what it's. Some people say, "What we're entitled to? What people of black feel entitled that nobody can correct them. They feel white people can't say nothing because of what they did, and when black people say something, they feel that they are sellouts. So they feel entitled to not being corrected. That finishes the sentence. Entitled to not being corrected. Entitled to not being approachable. And we know that there is a need for correction in the black community. We know it's a need for it. It's no doubt about that. It's no doubt about that. And I can understand when white people they don't want white people trying to correct them because of the history that white people's families have with them. But you got to take correction from somebody. But this video is going to be more about what I wanted to start out with, what I ended with on the other video, which is about the spiritual black entitlement. Now, the spiritual black entitlement, or even the original man black entitlement, is feeling like, okay, we're God's chosen people, and that means that we could just everything we how I want to say this, everything is revolves around us. Okay, it's like everything revolves around. It's just certain people that think. You might not think like this, but you will be amazed at how many people that feel like they're the Black Hebrew, the Black Hebrew movement, the Black Israelites, the Black Jews, and you'll be amazed at how the hints and the insinuations of black entitlement that comes from their information. Well, how I see it is no one is when every race has their purpose. God didn't make useless human beings. I don't believe that. I believe that every race has their purpose. And even if you are the original Jews, you are the original, you are the Black Israelites, whatever you may feel, you have to have more responsibility. So you can't just say, oh, okay, we are the original people and just act any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Then it becomes, okay, because we are black, that we can we just do whatever we want. This mentality, a lot of people have that mentality. They feel that they are original man. Look at the guy that, you might not take him seriously, but look at the guy that pushed the woman in front of the train here in New York City. What was he saying? He was saying, he is God. He was saying something like God made him do it. Now see this, if you pay attention, now this is a black dude. And he's homeless. But yet even in that, he feels that he is God. And look, we're made in the image of God. I'm not taking that from anybody. And I'm not saying that black people made the first, human found, was black, or found in Africa. But I can't go with just, this God complex. I guess that's another thing I'm saying. And with the God complex in the black community comes a sense of black entitlement. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is with this mentality in the black community, why I feel this need to say something is because I think it is what drives people to live in this almost superstar world, like rock star world, and they're not rock stars. So they ride around smoking weed, getting money, that's fine. But riding around like a rock star and nobody can say nothing to you, and you're not even that type of person. You're not even this super important person to the community, and you can't even be looked at and talked to. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, in some cases, it's okay, you don't want to be talked to by certain individuals because something may have happened. But it's people that's in the black community that you can't even look at them. Come on, man. You can't even look at it. And sometimes people be just looking as to acknowledge. There's one thing to look to acknowledge, and there's another thing to look to stare. I never stare. I look to acknowledge. And then if I hear somebody talking, and even if I've acknowledged you, and then you may raise your voice and say something, I may acknowledge you again as a human being because you're now talking. And so my head instantly turns to someone that's talking. But these kind of things is what's the problem in the black community, where it's just like these God complexes, and just this sense of you're owed certain things. The only thing I feel like, okay, owed money, retribution. Yes, granted, I agree with that because I feel like it's about empires. I feel like um, it's about um, getting the generations from level to level. But this feeling that you're I guess black entitlement is where we can't be don't say nothing, don't say the foundation is don't say nothing to us. Don't say what's right. I'm not saying they subconscious. Well, I'm not saying they saying that, but it's ultimately what is it's the nucleus of the situation. You can't when you try to correct someone and they don't want to receive it, then that's saying we're above correction. We're above approach. And to me, that is some type of complex. It's a diva complex, is what I think. And it all boils down to feeling like you're entitled to even how people treat you. You're entitled to a certain way people treat you. You could look at it every dynamic and see how bad it is. Entitled to what people say, entitled to how people treat you, entitled to how all these different things, and just put entitled to, and you will see in the black community how bad it is. And my thing is no one's entitled to anything, except for justice, proper justice, but other than that, entitlement is just a bad thing to have. You know what I'm saying? And here's my thing is when black people start acting like they're entitled to just they can just harm other people, harm other black people. And I want to make a whole video about that. Just because you're black, don't mean you have a pass to hurt other black people, play with other black people, even disrespect other black people. This is something black people feel they're entitled to is other black people. You're not entitled to other black people. Let's understand something. Here now, what's the day? The 6th. Okay, let's understand something here and now. No one is entitled. Just because you're black, we are not brothers and sisters. We're not, because brothers and sisters are raised the same way. They have the same information, and they move in the same direction, and they move usually to a common goal. Usually, they hold the same thought process. We are not brothers and sisters. Okay? We can be, but we are not presently brothers and sisters. So when you take that mentality off, then you will see, okay, what we need to do to get where we need to go. We can't be in denial about what we are. What we are, we're not brothers and sisters. We're not together. Okay, this helps people from being used and deceived by their own people. Because if you go out there and talk about brothers and sisters down the wrong block, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna be robbed, misused, and abused. That's what's gonna happen to you. That's what's gonna happen. If you go down the wrong block today on this Sunday morning, even in the daytime, going around talking about, hey, anybody want to buy some food stamps or something like that? Just go around doing that. I mean, I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just making examples for reasons why. Are you trying to get something from someone or trying to even find someone? Go do that. And you will see how quickly you'll be used for this, used for that, and even robbed. And may get shot at. So this is reality. There, you go down the wrong block and you see how quick somebody call you their brother and sister. They're not gonna call you that. What you're gonna be is a victim in the wrong, because you're in the wrong neighborhood. They don't know your face. They don't care nothing about you being black. That's my point. So this is reality in everyday life. Now, in rich America, the black community y'all get along. They're rich. Hey, you love everybody when you got some money in your pocket. Go get $5,000 right now. You'll have a great day. You go get, for me, I go get a speaker, go get some music. You know what I'm saying? Get a new phone, probably. Get $5,000. I'm getting a phone. I'm getting a new phone off instantly. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it makes your day good. You love everybody. But I'm talking about in the everyday community, man, that kind of energy is not there. You know what I'm saying? So I can only speak for that because that's the majority. And the majority of people out here that's black, you can't go down the wrong neighborhood talking about brother and sister and all of that. And and that's how it is. Whether you accept it or not, that's how it is. Okay? That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Another way of how it is you go in the wrong hood. You know what I'm saying? People feel like they can try you. They can do anything when you're black. They won't do it to nobody white. They won't do it to nobody other people. They just now starting to do that. And it's for certain reasons. But if you go down, but we misuse and hurt each other. We feel like we got passes to each other. And I don't feel that. I don't feel that. Nah, give me my respect just like you would give somebody else their respect. I'd rather take respect over you feel like you're familiar to me. Because when you feel like you're familiar to me and you don't have self-respect and you don't have respect for others, when you feel like you're familiar to me because we're both black, you're going to disrespect me. That's what you're going to do. You're going to feel that you know me. You're going to feel that we have something in common. You're going to feel that you're familiar with me and you're not. So I'd rather you just treat me like you treat the white boy. You treat the white boy with respect. You don't say nothing to the white boy. You treat the white boy like a human being. I'd rather you do that than you think you're my brother and then you disrespecting me in the process. Nah, you can keep that. Keep that. Treat me like you treat all the other races, like you don't know me because you don't. Okay? That's how I like it. Then we can go from there. Then you can see who I am, and then you will feel a need to respect me once you hear me for who I am. But just that whole familiar thing, what I've seen is it doesn't go anywhere. Most times, look at all the people that made themselves familiar with you. Look at how they treated you in the end. Look at how they treated you in the end. Maybe by what they said or what they done. Because they thought that they knew you. They thought that we shared the same culture, and that gave you a link to who I am or a sense of knowing who I am. And it doesn't. You can't look at any culture and talk about you know me. I'm going to surprise and shock you. I'm releasing information that the whole American community don't know. So if you approach me on some brother jive foolishness, you know what I'm saying? Some shuck and jive foolishness, and I'm telling people stuff that the whole American culture don't know, which includes all ethnicities, while you're trying to act like you're familiar with me. And not really in a good way, in a respectful way, but a way to get in and find a compromise, and now you're disrespecting me. And you still don't know me. So you just disrespected somebody that you don't know because of the color of their skin. Bam. You don't know me. Mind you, I'm a stranger to you, you don't know me. So you just disrespected me because of my color. That part. But you respected a white man. That's what I'm saying. I check people like that. I check people like that instantly because it's racism. You wouldn't say it to another color. You wouldn't say it to white people. So your familiar ways with me is just racism and disrespect. It doesn't come to respect. So when you call me brother and sister, or you acknowledge me as black or someone that you can talk to in a familiar way, it comes out to something negative. It comes out to disrespect. It comes out to racism. because you would not treat another race like that. So you gotta I've checked people like that. I remember one time I was in Tampa, Florida, and I used to get my coffee. Like I was on a strict diet. I was eating nothing. I was just basic. I was eating nothing, but I would have coffee, and I would come in and get my coffee. So one day I came in and someone I wasn't familiar with, this black lady, and I was getting my coffee. The coffee machine was broke down. She broke it down for her convenience like an hour early, like a whole hour. Now this is coffee. This is not soda machines. Some people depend on coffee. I'm not one of those people. But let's just say a local is wanting to scoop up their coffee right before they go to work. They go to work at 12. This is at 12 o'clock at night. Actually, she broke it down at 10. My bad. It closes at 12. She broke it down at 10. So that's 2 hours early. That's too early to break down a coffee machine. But that's real. So some people might go in and go to work like what? They may go, let's just say at that particular place in that area, they go to work at 12. You scoot by maybe, a little after 15 after 11, get your coffee, and it's not there. You got 45 minutes to spare. You wanted to get a coffee, and now you can't get it. You got people like that. They just slide in the cracks, and you just doing stuff for your convenience, just like an American, doing stuff for your convenience 2 hours ahead of time. You know what I mean? So I was like messing around, and she seen me messing with it. And she didn't even say nothing. She sat there and watched me struggle because the first thing she was thinking most likely was, look at this ignorant black dude. Look at this ignorant black guy. You know what I'm saying? And a white person, she would have told the dude, if he was in a suit, white dude in a suit, playing with the machine, oh, sir, the machine is already down for the day. She sat there and watched me struggle with it. This is a black lady. She knows I'm black. In Florida, I'm even darker because of the sun, so she knows I'm black. But she looks and let me struggle with it, and I know she wouldn't have done that with a white man. If it was a white man, she would have just said, oh, sir, the machine is down. Okay, she let me struggle with it for like 5 minutes and playing around and just messing with it. Then she came over, and somehow we interacted, and then she said it was down. But we had an interaction, and I was like, man, I was talking to her about it, and then she gave me like a lot of attitude, and said, and I forgot it. It's exactly what she said, but in essence, man, I told her if I was white, you wouldn't have did that. And she needed to hear that because a lot of black people have better customer service towards white people. Let's keep it real. I've seen it, man. You go into a store, black people have better customer service towards white people than their own. And here's the punchline. They do that because they feel they're more familiar with you. So because they feel like they're more familiar with you, that gives you room to be unprofessional, disrespect me, not serving me better. I'm more familiar with you, I get disrespected and treated and you know, all this other stuff. Negativity and all of this. When I know all of that would have been saved if it was a white man, because you know what a white man gonna do. He'll come back when your boss is there and tell your boss how you treated him. He'll go call corporate. You know this. You feel that your job will be more in jeopardy as soon as you start interacting with a white person in a negative way. That's how we train to think. But when you interact with a black person, you don't think nothing gonna come out of it. That's what I'm saying. See, I got to the level where I check black people. See, maybe your pro-blackness haven't got you to that level. You think the only people you can call out is so-called Uncle Toms. I call out all different types of stuff in the black community against other black people. Like that right there. How she disrespected me, see me sitting there, all she thinking that's another ignorant black person. That's all, and you know what I mean? Because I know she wouldn't have let a white man in a suit and tie sit there and struggle with a coffee machine she knows that's broke down. Okay? She not gonna do that because he gonna call her on that. She just sat there and let me struggle with this machine. She didn't say anything. I could have got it all over my suit because it's broken. Because it's broke down. I could have messed with something and it got all over my shirt just because I didn't know it was broke down. This is how they think, bruh. But because I'm black, she sit there and let me struggle. But at the end of the day, I told her, she talking about, I'm black too. I was like, look, man, but I know you wouldn't have treated a, that's what she said, but I said, you wouldn't have treated a white man like that. You wouldn't have. You would have let me know what's going on. You would have been just more attentive to my needs as a customer. And this I know, you know what I'm saying? So basically she went back and forth and said what she couldn't do and what she, and I was telling her how early it is. I think I was telling her all of that, and then it just somewhere it just became disrespectful. And I was like, look, I know you wouldn't do that with a white man. I know you wouldn't. And then, and so some people take it a certain kind of way, but it ain't no way you can take it when you know I'm right. And this all, people feel entitled. Black people would just feel like, look, they treat black people bad. Black people get treated the worst by their own people. We all know this, especially the old school. The old school knows this. You are mistreated worse by your own people. And that's a sense of entitlement. You're not entitled to play with black people because you're black. Makes sense? They just feel like I know you, I'm entitled to talk to you, I'm entitled to just approach you any kind of way, I'm entitled to this, but you quick to jump on the white man to do the same thing against me. But you're doing it though. But you're entitled to do it. Nah. See, and that's a form of entitlement. You feel entitled to it.